Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. Well, I am a singer, a songwriter, a vocalist, a songwriter here based in Honolulu, Hawaii. I've released an album, my debut album, in 2014 and won the Best R&B Album of 2015 at the Nahoku Hanohano Awards.
Nice.
And then a month later went to New Zealand and won the Vodafone Pacific Music Award for Best Pacific Artist, Best Pacific International Artist. And so I have a few accolades under my belt, I guess. But that's just the beginning. I still write. I'm still growing as an artist, and I feel that my best is yet to come. But then again, you cannot rush quality. A lot of it takes time, and that's what I've been doing lately, is taking my time, taking these baby steps to work on some new, so I can deliver it to you.
So speaking of your first album, I heard it play and I walked in hungry and I was like, who is that? And Mary, you know Mary over Hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary's like, oh.
Hey Mary, thank you so much for spinning my stuff. You guys are such a big supporter of my music. Big ups to Hungry Ear.
Oh yeah, really my favorite on Island record store. So I even let the whole album play. I was like, yep, I'll take it.
Thank you. Thanks.
No worries. And I found out yesterday that I've already heard you sing before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
With Rocket Powered Cadillac.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
with my friend Pinky McBride, probably the baddest drummer alive. Oh, what am I rhyming for? No, Pinky she's the only female drummer that I've ever had behind me. And we used to be in a band called the Rocket Powered Cadillac. This was like ages ago. I was one of the vocalists in the group. And where did you catch us at?
I know it was in Chinatown. I don't remember the venue.
Was it down like a scary looking alley?
I don't remember. I was probably drunk. I was in my mid-20s, so I was probably drunk.
Oh, man. Yeah, we used to play a venue called the Mercury Bar a lot back.
It was up some stairs. I remember that
back
much.
then. Up some stairs.
Or maybe I just made up the stairs. I'm not sure.
I'm thinking.
But I I remember coming down to Chinatown and his Pinky had invited me down. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, hey, you're a drummer, a real drummer? I was like, you know, it's not for play?
No, not for play.
Yeah.
Like for real. For real.
I definitely got to hear all of that.
Yes.
And it was like, and I didn't know that until yesterday. So I definitely gonna point this out to Pinky. So you're originally from Oahu?
I would say it's so hard. Like when you ask me that question, where am I originally from? Let's see, because I grew up a military brat. Where we moved all over the place. I was born in the Midwest.
Okay.
I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas. Spent a lot of time in California. Spent some time in Samoa. And spent a lot of time here in Hawaii. But if there's one place that I would call home, it would definitely be here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to ask a military brat that kind of question. Where are you from? Because then we go through like this whole identity crisis. And like, where am I from? I don't know. This is where I call home.
Okay.
And if we talk about where are you from, I'm still looking actually. I'm still digging, and what I've been finding out lately has been interesting, and it has blown my mind to find out where you are from. And yeah, well, that's it. we can go into that another time.
Okay. Fair enough. So as a vocalist, like, what would you say is your biggest influence? Like, who would you say influenced your styling the most, you think?
Who has influenced my style the most? That's a good question, because growing up, I'm guilty of standing in front of the mirror with my brush and emulating artists, like pop artists like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, and like 90s R&B was everything to me. Like Coco from SWV was probably like hands down the best singer to me. So, and Faith Evans, Mary J. Blige, those are the kind of singers that influenced me, like at a young age. And then as I got a little older, and I became exposed to people like Erykah Badu, and the neo soul movement was becoming such a thing. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, D'Angelo, and then I started digging further, like, who are these guys listening to? Billie Holiday, or like, okay, that's Donny Hathaway, like, oh wow, these guys are pretty amazing, and it's like, well, who are these guys listening to? Right? You just keep digging and digging. But I'd say, like, growing up, I'd say 9-10 years old, I think Coco from SWV was probably hands down my favorite singer. And it's weird when you talk about influence too, because like some of my riffs and some of the ways that I carry my tone or whatever, I'm like, dang, I think Coco would probably do that. and then I'm like fighting with myself, like trying to figure out, like, was that me, or was that like, or it's just a heavy influence, or like I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Am I thinking too much?
Nah. I mean, like that's a really broad question. So. Yeah.
So, as far as influence, yeah, I would say like Coco, SWV, Faith Evans, Erykah Badu. Who else was I digging at the time? That definitely helped mold my style. I didn't get exposed to Jill Scott till later, until adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get compared to her a lot, and I'm like, why? Because, she is amazing. But then, if you were to listen to my music and her music, I'm like, there's a difference. Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things about listening to music, that things don't sound the same. So, which is why I'm against, the mumble rap. Like, I'm not gonna go off on that tangent, but like, why I'm so against the mumble rap, movement that's going on right now. Yeah. Like they're not even words, it all sounds the same.
No, not even words. Everything just sounds like mumbling. Oh, I totally forgot, like, Groove Theory, Amel LaRue.
Oh, yes.
Amel LaRue. Yeah. Such a big fan. I believe a big influence too. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's weird? I think people who listen to, I guess, neo soul music, or people who know of neo soul but don't really listen to the music. They just know, like, these heavy hitter artists like D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, whatever. When they hear my stuff, it's like these bigger names that they think of. Oh, you sound like Jill Scott. You remind me of Jill Scott. And I'm like, no, I don't. No, I don't. You probably do not listen to much soul music then. I'm like, because I think I could be compared to other artists, first, then to like a Jill Scott. Then I'm just like, I don't get it. Like,
it's like when I first listened to your album, like, I first thought, like with your range, like I first thought, like my first thought was Amelia Rue. Like that.
I love Amelia Rue. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, like I think someone who's like really into neo soul would probably say, Amelia Rue, yo. Like, yo, you could tell she listens to Amelia Rue or blah blah blah. Like, Amelia Rue before like Jill Scott.
And another there's an artist on Blue Note that's she's been around for a little while, but like she's about to release her first album. Like she had an EP like some years ago. Yeah.
Candace Springs. She's pretty. I love her tone. Very talented artist as well. Yeah. I love the fro too.
That's the first time anyone has ever like nobody ever finishes the artist that I'm thinking of.
No.
Like,
I follow. I follow.
So what's the name of your first album? Tell the people.
Ooh, so my debut album was called Waking Up, and that was a group effort. That was, I had the help of my friend Benny James, my help of my friend DJ Sub-Zero, and excuse me, I'm about to burp on camera. I'm gonna hold that back. Because that is not ladylike. So I had the help of my friend Benny James, DJ Sub-Zero, and Daniel Saws kind of helped me put that project together. Oh, I also had like help of other producers as well, local producers. The Level, Thirst for Worst, my friend Rick from RSL Productions, and he is also the music director for a reggae group, a local reggae group called Nesian 9. They contributed to some of the production on the album. So, oh man, I'm just so thankful for all the hands that were put into the project, helped prepare it, definitely blessed it, and we were able to garner a few awards because of that. And I think just the energy that was put into that project, it was real, very genuine, and and if I could go back and change any of that, I would not. I mean, nice. That was so meant to be.
Nice. Yeah, because I enjoy listening to it in the car. I enjoy listening to it in my old listening room, before I got all this equipment. And, anybody that rode in the car, I'd be, who is that? It's like we know you always listen to the most obscure stuff. I was like, who is that? I was like, oh man, I was like, she's from here. Contrary to the military brat question. But I was like, man, I was like, yeah.
It's like, she don't know where she's from, actually. She's still trying to find herself. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course. So I think I have it in that CD book, but I didn't want to flip through it and be like, oh, it's not in here. Oh man. So
I should have brought a copy.
I know. So now we're gonna have to pull it up and play a little bit after our intermission. So. Yep, it's hot in here, so we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back with you soon.
September 17th, next door, I will be having a live listening party, be featuring a lot of music that I'm currently working on. I want to give it a test run, see how it goes, see if you like it. If you don't worry. My feelings won't get hurt. But I would like to see some familiar faces and some new faces there, because I just want to share my art with you.
What's going on? We are back and playing a track from Waking Up. So, if you don't have the album, you really should go pick it up. And where can they pick it up?
You can pick it up online on all digital outlets, iTunes, CD Baby, Spotify, Google Play, where else? Tidal. All digital outlets. If you need a hard copy, I suggest going to MaryanneIto.com to get that. If you are in London, you can go visit my friends at Soul Brother Records. If you're in Honolulu, go to Hungry Ear Records and you can pick up a hard copy there. Or just go to MaryanneIto.com and place an order there. You'll have a copy mailed to you, signed and mailed to you.
Oh man, my copy's not signed. I gotta find a jacket now. Or let's go get another one.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So like during the break, like we talked about a few things that, well, we're not gonna share them with you because you weren't here. But
Sorry. But I'm a very open person. I'm an open book. We can go over all of that again. I'm thinking, should I put the filter on? No. Yeah. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. Really. You did not miss much.
Well, there'll be some outtakes on the finished video, so you'll get to see a little bit. Just a little bit. So, man. So, I was going to ask Maryanne where she shot for music, but like she just told us all these great music outlets.
Yes. And, big ups to the Bootleg King. I'm sorry. I will not drop your name, but I'll be checking my email for the gems. And there are some that I feel like I should buy, which I do buy, and then I do buy after I download. Kind of just I have to download it and give it a test drive first, right? And then if it's good, then I buy it. But most of the times, my music has been coming from iTunes, for the most part. It's been convenient. I say it's because it's very convenient. iTunes, Bandcamp. I like to support the upcoming artists or the struggling artists or the underground artists. I think Bandcamp is such a gem for all. It's such a good platform too for these artists who are who want to share their stuff as well. And it's a good way for musicians to share their music and to sell their music as well. Yeah. It's good for the indie artists, and I have thought about that as well. Like this next project I'm working on, like, do I want to put it on iTunes? I don't know. I think I want to take it straight to Bandcamp, perhaps. So Bandcamp has been another place where I've been buying my music.
Well, you know what most of my followers want to know is if they can pick up your music on vinyl.
I've gotten that question, and do you know how expensive it is to press music on vinyl?
I definitely.
Holy God! I'd have to start a GoFundMe campaign or something to get that done. But hey, little birdie told me that it is actually very cheap to get that done in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So,
and there's quality pressings over there.
Maybe.
Matter of fact, like I'm glad you said that. So I'm gonna go over here out of frame for a second and grab an album that was pressed in the Czech Republic. Cause like after you said that to me, it made me think about my collection.
This Winehouse.
The 45 RPM version of that album is pressed in the Czech Republic. So, and it sounds good. We'll probably go put it on after we wrap up. But just cause Yugos were made there doesn't mean that the music isn't quality.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, shoot, musicians and artists have to, we have to budget and save money as well. But just a thought, just an idea that was put into my head. So we'll see in the future if I could get the debut album, if I could get that pressed on vinyl as well. So yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
So, while we're on the topic of albums, so, I got to ask this question on the last interview, and then maybe you want to ask it this time. So, you have to choose 3 albums that you're going to listen to for the rest of your life.
That's hard, man.
It is.
That is so hard.
It is. Somebody's going to feel neglected. Some artists is going to feel neglected by your choice, but
that is a hard question to answer. I think earlier when we were talking too, and I was looking through your vinyl, and I was like, yo, I wasn't even thinking of that. Like, oh my gosh, John Coltrane, Jazz Steps, or Esperanza. but I think I would want to probably listen to something very nostalgic that would bring me back to my childhood, or bring me back to a time where I first fell in love with the genre that I do, which is, people call it neo soul, which it's supposed to be a subgenre of soul. It's soul. It's actually soul, especially if it's true and it comes from the soul. It's soul. I'd have to pick. I would have to pick the music from that era, when the movement was like coming up and strong. Like, I think of Music Soul Child. Like, I Just Want to Sing. I used to have that album. I used to have that album on like on rotation, like every day. Oh my gosh, and that just reminds me, because he covered a Patrice Rushen song, and I love Patrice Rushen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, Patrice Rushen, straight from the heart. That's a good one. Right? I'm like, see, there's just so many to think of, and definitely Baduism, Erykah Baduism, and maybe D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. Is that my final answer? I think I named 4.
Sorry, you gotta have an alternate.
I think I said 5, because I did say John Coltrane's Giant Steps.
Oh man, see, I tried to give you a pass. Maybe
man,
catch it.
That's a hard question. You just cannot ask a music enthusiast that kind of question.
See, I get asked it a lot. So
I know, right? And oh gosh, maybe I should just go with the soundtrack. Soundtracks were so big in those days. Nowadays,
soundtracks are whack now.
Yeah, not so much, but like the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack,
like
that Babyface, like wrote all of that stuff. Oh my goodness, it was like the Above the Rim soundtrack back then. I was like, that was good. Jason's Lyric. Remember the New Jersey Drive? I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah. Oh my gosh, soundtracks were very big, and that was good. Like, that's a good question, because like if I have a hard time deciding what album from a specific artist to pick, maybe go into a soundtrack. Pick a soundtrack. I love the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack though. Yeah, that would, I'm definitely gonna have to go with that. I'm gonna pick this Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Music Soul Child's I Just Want to Sing, and oh gosh, it's between John Coltrane, Erykah Badu, and D'Angelo. Oh man!
Don't feel too bad, because I'm gonna go after you list yours. I'm gonna mention mine. They change all the time.
Then I'm gonna have to go with the John Coltrane, with the John Coltrane Giant Steps. There, that's my 3. Okay. That's my final answer.
It's your final answer. This time. Next time I ask you, it'll probably be different.
Yeah, they'll probably be different next time. I'm on a different deserted island this time. Different situation.
So mine are, she already listed one of them, Giant Steps. But since she chose that one, I'm going to have to go with my Coltrane alternate, which would be Lush Life. The follow-up. Actually, no, the follow-up was Coltrane Music. And I haven't listened to it yet, and it's coming up on Virgin Vinyl Sunday, so that might be it next time I answer the question. So I'm going to go with Lush Life, and I'm going to go with Urban Hang Suite by Maxwell.
Ooh, you know what? When I was driving, on my way here, I thought of that too. Yeah. I thought, I was like, that was good. I really love Ascension, and oh gosh, yeah, I did think of that. I did think of you, Maxwell. I did, but then I figured maybe some other time. If that's okay with you.
And lastly, a pretty indie artist. She's worked with Robert Glasper. He did some arrangements for and like I hear his sound all over. I hear his sound all of her music, but like it could just be because I'm a Glasper fan. I mean, but so Gretchen Parlato.
Oh.
And see, the hard part is choosing which album. So because I like something off of all of her albums, I'm gonna go with her Live in New York album, which of course
I have to take a listen.
Yeah.
You got it.
Which of course isn't on vinyl.
Good heavens.
And that's the end of the GoPro. So, with that being said, I'm glad that you tuned in to our third episode of Living in Stereo.
Thank you.
And we're going to have some libations and listen to some music. And, well.
This is lovely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.
And
thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. I mean, we got vibes and some vino. Right. Go hand in hand. So, I mean, thank you. It was a good conversation, too.
I'm glad.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you came. So, as always, keep spinning. So, thank y'all for tuning in to our latest installment of Living in Stereo. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check out Maryanne. We say next week? Week after
Yeah, I say next week. Next week, Saturday to be exact.
All right, so like we just wrapped up our listening session, and these are the albums that we listened to a couple cuts off of.
Yes.
So
we listened to Rocket Love, Stevie Wonder's Rocket Love off of Hotter Than July, Naima, John Coltrane's Naima off of Giant Steps, and Vanessa Fernandez, her rendition of oh gosh lordy, the title just slipped. Be Thankful for What You Got, originally done by William Devon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now you've heard two out of three of these albums before. So what did you think of listening to them on vinyl? I know we A-B'd.
We did. We A-B'd Hotter Than July, Rocket Love, Hotter Than July. So we listened to a portion of the digital copy, and then a portion of what was done on vinyl. And I tell you, there's so much more detail in the grooves, vinyl. I think I said it felt like I was sitting in a recording studio, like listening to the song being tracked. That's how much detail there is, like with vinyl. And as far as like Naima, this is my first time ever hearing Naima on vinyl, and there is a lot more detail in the groove and in the grooves. My goodness, that was very powerful to me. I felt like I was sitting. I could have been sitting in like the Vanguard listening to John Coltrane playing in front of me as if I was in the crowd. That's how powerful it was, as far as the sound, and the clarity as well. Yeah, especially, it's very it was touching, and it was a little emotional too, because that song Naima, that was a song that I played over and over while I was pregnant with my daughter Naima, which I've named her after that song. And Vanessa Fernandez, her rendition of Be Thankful for What You Got, that was beautiful, especially when the guitar came in. Like, yes, yes, like you could really hear the detail. It was pretty awesome. And I dig the vocals on her. I dig the raspiness, and that's just crazy. I dug it. It's very good. Outstanding indeed. Being in a band is kind of like being in a relationship.
I definitely get.
Or not a relationship, but in every relationship, communication is key. Communication, that's golden.